Well, good hump day to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, cloudy, lovely San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope you guys are as fired up as I am to have another opportunity to live a great life rather than just thinking about it. Many of you have heard this statement before, and if you have not heard it before, I hope that it will help you. And it is this declaration: if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And this is a conversation this morning around priorities and keeping priorities. I heard earlier this week a statement that I challenged, and I just kind of into that. I guess I've got an issue at this particular age. When the hair turned gray from black, I just got okay with communicating open discussions and dialogues for those who are open to hear and understand opposing views, as I am. I love talking with people who do not believe what I believe and who do not think like I think, because it gives me an opportunity to have a greater appreciation for how somebody was raised and what they learned, and it gives me just an incredible appreciation for the uniqueness of humankind that God created. And so here's the conversation: if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. This was the statement that I challenged. I heard the statement this week: goals, your goals are non-negotiable. And I went, time out on that. Personal foul. I don't agree with that. And let's have a discourse about this. Your goals are non-negotiable. Now, you and I know there are people we know whose goals are non-negotiable. They set a goal, and come hell or high water, they're going to accomplish that goal. And they will have the joy of achieving that goal. Yet, my contribution to the conversation was this: don't buy that, and here's why. I think your priorities are non-negotiable, and your goals are subject to tweaking and pivoting. And here's the explanation and the reasoning I gave behind that. I said, let's say that as a realtor, for instance, that you had been planning all month for a great lead generation morning at your office, and you had food set up for it, and you had everybody ready to come, and it was going to be a great deal. It was going to be on Friday morning, and your son Billy, who was going to be in a play Friday morning, says, "Dad, don't even worry about it. It's cool because I'm a tree. Like, I'm just going to be a tree. I'm just going to be standing there. It's pretty lame." But little Billy comes home Thursday night and he goes, Dad, you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. I'm not going to be a tree in the play. I have the main role. I'm the main character. I get to use all the lines I've been studying and practicing just in case this happened, Dad. I'm the main guy in the play. I got the lead role, Dad. I'm so excited, Dad. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Will you and Mom come and watch me? Would the dad say, good for you, son. However, my goals are non-negotiable. So, no. Well, men and women have the option to make those choices. Ladies and gentlemen, you are always free to choose. You're just not free from the consequences of the choice you make. The consequences show up whether you like it or not. So would that be the right response? Well, that actually would be the right response for a person whose priority was business before family. If somebody's priority was my business comes first before my family, then he would say that. Good for you, Billy. You're not going to be a tree. You're going to be the lead actor in the play. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm going to go make some money. Peace out, son. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon and little boy Blue, the man in the moon. When you coming home, Dad? I don't know when, but we'll get together then. And he realized one day, my boy was just like me. Is that what you want, Daddy? Is that what you want, Mama? If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. You have the opportunity to choose to have non-negotiable priorities. When you have non-negotiable priorities, then you know you actually stand for something. Do you know why they call values value? because they cost a lot to protect. And I don't mean financially. It costs a lot to protect. So what would you do in a situation like that? Let's say, I don't know, if your priorities were God first, family second, and then business third, and you were faced with that situation. Well, if you knew my priority is non-negotiable, then now you have the opportunity to dig deep and get incredibly and insanely creative with how to somehow connect the dots and simultaneously be there to be a blessing for your son and arrange something so that that team has the opportunity to execute what was originally intended. You get creative. You see, when your priorities are non-negotiable, when you know what you stand for, then you don't fall for simple garden variety distractions because they have an urgency attached to their execution. You have come in peacetime to declare war on distractions when you go into wartime. You have made the decision in peacetime that when you enter the battlefield of your day, you know what your priorities are, and they're non-negotiable. Otherwise, they're truly not priorities. Does your audio match your video is a better way to say it. Well, I love God, I love my wife, I love my kids, and I love my business. Okay, well, what does your schedule reflect? What does your schedule reflect? If a private investigator was to follow you around for 2 weeks and mark everything you did and the way that you spent your time and the way that you spent your money, would they say, yep, this guy's priority is God first, family second, business third. I've observed the schedule. Look at all of these items that were scheduled in. Every time he was conflicted, he made a decision. So no, I disagree with your goals are non-negotiable. And I agree immensely with your priorities are non-negotiable and your goals are subject to pivot. Otherwise, you may wind up like Tony Montana, Scarface, who only believed in sequential success. In this country, first you gotta get the money. And then when you get the money, then you get the power. And then when you get the power, then you get the woman. Sequential success. I don't agree with that. The Wheel of Life in our coaching program goes against that. Because guess what, Mr. Tony Montana? While you're out getting the money, you're gonna lose the power because a woman might just leave you. Because if you're not making her a priority, it's gonna be a challenge. So success can be simultaneous when two things happen. One, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do. And two, you have incredible accountability around executing exactly when you are going to do it. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And when your priorities are in question, sorry about this, my car's still getting stuff done to it and I'm in this funky loaner car here. When your priorities are in order, your decisions are already made when garden variety distractions or maybe even great opportunities show up. I cannot tell you how many opportunities I said no to that were good opportunities because my kid had a practice or my kid had a game or something. That's why values are valuable, because they cost you something. They're not really values. If you ask yourself, does my audio match my video? You may find that you are offering on the altar of convenience your compromising convictions. Are you compromising your convictions on the altar of convenience or urgency? Or are you taking a stand for what you must take a stand for in order for you to become who God created you to become, so you could do what he called you to do, have what he called you to have, and ultimately to give what he called you to give? It begins with becoming. And you cannot become if you do not have the hard conversations with yourself. What do you stand for? What do you stand for? What are your priorities? And if a private investigator followed you around for 2 weeks, would they say, what this man says are his priorities are absolutely his priorities because I can document it in his schedule and in his checkbook? Does your audio match your video? Today would be a good day to have a checkup from the neck up to see if you have an advanced case of stinking thinking, to give yourself the opportunity to course correct. I pray today you ask yourself the hard questions so that you can enjoy the amazing benefits of a disciplined, spiritual, powerful, prioritized life. Have a great day, guys.